like to introduce Mr. Anas Al Hamous that's going to talk about tax in the UK, questions and answers.
Thank you, Mr. Ennis, for your time and for your educational talk
Thank
for
you.
this evening. Um, I had a question about, for example, for a relatively young person who hasn't really learned how to file taxes and all that.
Yes.
Where can someone kind of get started on that? Where can someone start learning about what essentially what tax is to begin with, and then how can you from there how can you learn to file those for
I would
your
say
personal
the
needs?
I would say practical life is different than theory. So you need to put yourself somewhere where you can start working. So if you work in an accountancy firm or a bookkeeping firm, then you will come across many cases that you will have to take care of them yourself, and then your senior advisor or your the person who works with you can teach you how to file them and what to do in each case. So I would say employment first.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Um, Another question that came in is what is the difference between taxes and the national insurance contribution?
Okay, basically taxes are paid um, as on your employment income, on your self-employment income, on your capital gains, on your business. Okay, national insurance contribution. There are two classes of national insurance. There's class 2 and there's class 4 and there's class 1 and class 1A. There are classes that are paid when you're employed. There are classes and paid when you're self-employed. So national insurance contribution is basically paid if you are earning above a certain amount of, which is around 9,500. If you are employed, the employer would deduct the amount of national insurance, which is 12%, and he will pay on your behalf. This helps you when you retire in a long time after you reach 67 now. When you retire, this will help you this will help to contribute towards your pension, your state pension. Okay, if you were paying national insurance contribution. Taxes is basically is tax on your income, is whatever you are receiving. If you receive above the threshold 12,500, then you will be taxed on 20%. If you are working and you receive above 50, you're taxed 40%. If you receive above 150, you're considered an additional rate taxpayer, 45%. National insurance is also some kind of indirect tax. Okay, it is a kind of tax that is an additional contribution towards taxes to the state. So the government takes national insurance from everyone that has to pay national insurance if he was earning above the limit. Nowadays it's 9,000. There's also class 2 national insurance contribution if you were self-employed. Okay, which is nowadays it's £2 95 pence per week. Okay, and there's class 4 national insurance if you were earning above the same as if you were employed, 9,500. Okay, so it is basically a kind of contribution towards the social services. So government takes it from everyone who has to pay it to contribute towards the road works, toward the councils, towards just to help the community. Okay, is it clear?
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Another question is, what's the difference between P45 and P60?
So P45 is when someone has finished employment and he has left the employment, then the employer will issue a P45. So end of employment form. A P60 runs every year. So if someone was employed and he continued to be employed in the same place at the end of tax year, which is April, or let's say the payroll runs up to March. So at the end of 31st of March of that tax year, the employer will issue a form called P60. A P60 is the total earnings of that year in that employment. So if you were employed for a year, a P60 will show you how much you earned in that employment from the beginning of the tax year until the end of tax year.
Okay, thank you. Another question we have is, can one use a virtual UK address to establish a company?
Yes, you can. You can use a virtual address. That's absolutely no problem. You can form a company while you're resident abroad, but you will always have a problem opening a bank account, a business bank account, because you will have to prove that you are resident in the UK, and you have to prove 3 months of proof of address to the bank. So when you go there, they'll ask you for the previous statement of your utility bill or of any communication, any paper that came to your address to show that you are resident in the UK. But yes, you can rent a virtual address, and you can open a company without being in the UK.
All right, and finally, we have a question that states, what's the minimum number of years of working to get a state pension?
Okay, is you have to be working, not quite sure, but I think at least 10 years, to be eligible for the minimum state pension.
Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you in the next session. Don't hesitate to follow us on our social media platforms as seen on this screen. For more updates and information on the Egyptians Together Union, please visit our official website on www.egyptianstogether.com. Also, for any questions or queries, please contact us via email on egyptianstogetheruk@gmail.com. Also, for more videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel called Egyptians Together. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you in the next session.